Hey, don't forget, it ain't the first 48 with 60 minutes.
Come with the king, best not best. Even the score now, we need to score now. Back on that wall, when you hear that call, you know it's going down. We play from beginning to ending, you know how we finish. Turn to the bank, gotta handle our business. We need the ball, so it's time to go get it. Play with your heart when you hit, make it feel it. You know I'm with. You come to the bank and get out of line, we sending a blitz. Say who you with? You know I'm with. That purple and black, and when we attack, you know what it is.
You're now locked into Zone 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Zone 32 podcast. We have the crew in tonight, -1 for now. We'll wake up at some point, so you got things to say, but let me get to it. My name is Jake. His name is Drew. His name is Will. His name is BT. His name is motherfucking Grant. Say what's up to the people.
All right, all jokes aside, this is 4 weeks in a row with Grant, I think, right? Maybe 5?
Yeah,
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a fucking world record going on right now. Everybody's witnessing. This is more impressive than Cal Ripken's fake consecutive game streak. So, round of applause for Grant. Great job, pal. All right, go ahead.
Well
continue,
done.
Jake. I just wanted
All right.
wanted everybody to acknowledge that before we continue.
Acknowledge me! Anyway, so let's get into it. So we already mentioned the D-Hop stuff and the transactions prior to. The Ravens made a couple more moves, one or two re-signings, and brought in an outside player because I believe they re-upped to Tylan Wallace after last week's podcast. They re-upped surprisingly with Ben Cleveland, the squirrel leader. That was a box of rocks, but you know it's all right. He's the juggernaut from fucking X-Men back in the day. And then, which caused Ravens Twitter to outrage because they outrage over everything. They didn't re-sign, but they signed the backup quarterback, Cooper Rush, to a 2-year deal worth, was it $4.2 million guaranteed? Could be worth up to 12 based off of playing time incentives. So that's, if he plays most of the year, then cool. But he's not. He's a clipboard holder. No real reason to really be pissed off about that. But, you know, if the sun comes up, I guess there's reason for people to get mad on the internet. So I think it's neither here nor there. So, Drew, why does EDC hate the Ravens?
Hey,
I'll ask that
quick.
for Ravens Twitter.
Real quick, I think we had another signing after that. Wasn't Chris Board's replacement signed after last week's episode?
Jake Hummel was his name,
Jake
right?
Hummel.
That's right. The linebacker for the Rams.
Respect Jake Hummel, future All-Pro.
He's an imposter, Jake. There ain't no real Jakes other than this Jake. Fuck any other Jake.
He might take you over as the best involved with the Ravens right now. But
No, fuck that.
I mean,
Fuck that.
Everybody has been pissed off all free agency. He's not doing this. He's not signing this guy. Blah blah. I really don't fucking care, to be honest. I find most of it to be just pointless noise. You didn't have to re-sign Tylan Wallace, but re-signing Tylan Wallace made cheap price, guy who knows your system, guy who plays special teams, whatever. I was kind of
especially with the upgrade to wide receiver 3, then bring him back makes more sense because you're not bumping him up into a bigger role.
Right, yeah, you're just looking for a warm body at that point, and the guy who's a warm body, played special teams for you and knows your system is, whatever. And again, it didn't break the bank. I was surprised by the Ben Cleveland re-signing, but I'm okay with it. I think that we're going to see a Ben Cleveland All-Pro year. Getting arrested for petty crimes in the offseason typically leads to All-Pro caliber performances from Ravens players. So, he's going to follow in Marlon's footsteps, take Falele's job, and be an All-Pro. So I'm cool with that. And then everybody lost their fucking mind over the Cooper Rush signing. I don't know if I've ever cared less about a Raven move in my entire life than that. I look at
the only thing I cared about is arguing with people who were making it into some crazy, into a thing.
So
it was just such a nothing move.
I look at backup quarterbacks like at punters. You don't ever really want to see them. You don't want Lamar to get. And so as long as you're not paying him some ridiculous amount of money, I could fucking care less who you had at backup quarterback. Like, Joe Flacco would have been a nostalgia story. I feel like the clan members who also root for the Ravens would have been a little too excited with that. So I'm fine we didn't go that route. I thought Trey Lance could have been the, the reclamation project, kind of like I don't know, he comes in and plays like 2 games and lights it up in Monken's system, and then he has like a Matt Flynn contract that he gets or something like that. But Cooper Rush, I really don't fucking like. I was stunned at opening Twitter. It was like when Grant freaked out last year because we drafted a quarterback in the 6th round. Like, it's a 6th round pick. Who fucking cares? And so it's a backup quarterback. Like, you had to have somebody be backup quarterback. Care. Yeah, I know. You care about weird. That's just kind of like your thing, is that you just care about things that nobody else cares about. So
they were making it a money thing. They're making it a money thing, and the difference is $800,000.
I get it if the guy doesn't suck. Like, the Leary's terrible, and like you could use that pick to just value depth and add like a piece that could probably make the roster, contribute in the back end of the secondary, and additional offensive linemen, additional defensive linemen.
Such an illustrious history of drafting 6th rounders that turn out to be great.
You got a better shot to hit on that than Leary.
I mean, when's the last 6th round pick that hit into something meaningful? Geno Stone.
Smith. Oh, you talking about Ravens?
Yeah, I'm talking about Ravens. Like, Geno Stone was a 7th round pick, and he turned out to be okay.
James Crochet, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, fucking.
What was Justice Hill?
Your favorite safety, Drew? Chuck Clark.
I think Justice Hill was a 4th round pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, Justice Hill was a 4th.
Was
yeah,
he 4th?
Chuck Clark's a fucking loser. I mean, I can't think of a 6th round pick.
But what's Leary?
6th round pick.
But what's he gonna be? I mean, it's a waste of a pick. Like, completely.
Yeah, but you waste that. That's what you do in the 6th and 7th round, is that you typically waste the pick. It's a guy that might turn out to be something, or is probably going to be nothing. And he's probably, at best, he's hold a clipboard somewhere for the rest of his career.
I value the pick more, I guess.
All right, but on the topic of Cooper Rush, though, what this guy's saying, Drew is gonna fight this, but just let's be specific. If Lamar gets hurt, if Lamar gets hurt and he's out for an extended period of time, it doesn't matter. If Lamar's out for a week, Cooper Rush can win a game.
Will, if Lamar is out for a week, I could play quarterback and hand the ball off to Derrick 35 times and throw short screen passes to Zay Flowers.
Why don't you go check what Tyler Huntley did when he was filling in, dude?
Because he sucked. I'm not.
Josh Johnson in his entire fucking career has 1 win. He's been in the league since 2009. He has 1 win. Cooper Rush has filled in for Dak Prescott and gone 9-5 as a starter.
Against
he can win a game or two.
Shitty competition. If we're playing shitty teams, you can put fucking anybody at quarterback, and they might win a game for us. Because we have Derrick Henry, we have Zay Flowers you can give the ball to, short. You have Isaiah Likely you can give the ball to short. They can maybe turn something. And we have a good defense. What the fuck is this asshole saying?
Psyched about the Ravens picking up Candace.
Yeah, he wants to say, like, can this dick fit in your mouth or something? Hey, Don, why don't you focus on shooting under par before you come in here trolling?
Got him.
I thought you were going to say shooting up heroin.
No, I don't think he does heroin.
No.
I can't confirm or deny that he's a drug addict.
No,
nice
but
guy,
my thing is like I'm like Drew. I could care less about the signing itself. My only thing is if we're that strapped against the cap and we're not in a hurry to restructure contracts or extend money or get money back within this year in the cap frame. You see a guy like Ojulari, yeah, you can say whatever you want about him.
Oh, my God, I mean, here we go.
I'm just saying, would you let me fucking finish? Shut up for 2 seconds. Shut up for 2 seconds. No, shut up for 2 seconds.
I don't want
you got a guy like Ojulari that has ability, and he fits a need that we need right now, and he gets a $4 million contract on a 1-year try it deal. Okay, well, if we're that strapped against cash and you have a young guy that can contribute to the defense in a position of need, I would rather value putting that money there. Do I care that we didn't sign him? No, I don't give a fuck. Do I care that we signed Cooper Rush? No, I don't give a fuck. But I'm thinking personally, I would allocate that money in a different spot. Backup quarterbacks you can find anywhere. You can literally get one in July. And if you want to sit on the stance of if Lamar's out 2-3 weeks, then you can utilize them, maybe win 1 or 2 games. I don't care. I don't think about that. If Lamar's out, we're in trouble anyways, regardless of who's under center. And at that point, I would rather take the chance to find a backup quarterback right before training camp versus doing it now when money's tight. If money wasn't tight, fuck it, sign him. And I'm not saying like, oh, it sucks. EDC sucks. We didn't sign him.
What's the difference in money now and then? It's the same fucking cap.
Because you have more time. You have more time to free up space. You understand? But you know that what you're utilizing within your draft picks, you know what your signing contracts are like, you know all that stuff. So you know what money you have left. You can have time to work out those extensions. So I mean, it doesn't matter either way. I would just personally look into allocate my money a different way.
All right, so if you're going to make the Azeez Ojulari could win us games, Cooper Rush might be more valuable team than Azeez Ojulari would be. I mean, you're talking about a guy who has declined since his rookie year, is never fucking healthy, and just isn't that good at football. You're signing another.
I mean, he had 6 sacks in 11 games as situational pass rushing. So I mean, I'll take that production.
He had 10 sacks. I mean, so we can just.
And he had 5 the year before that, and 5 the year before that. So I mean, like you put him in the right system and put him in the right situation, then
it's a going up, and Azeez Ojulari's going down. He sucks. He's not good.
What about homeboy for the Eagles right now? Huff had 10.5 sacks for the Jets his last year, signed last year, got 2.5 sacks. Like situations matter, and they can't find a trade partner for him at all. But he blew up, had a 10.5 sack year, was a free agent, got paid in Philly, couldn't even barely get on the field, and had 2.5 sacks. It doesn't matter. It's your situations what matters. And I would take the chance of Ojulari because we don't have Ajaba's never on the field. Oweh can't close out.
Ojulari averages 9 games per year.
Adisa Isaac, how many did he play last year? How many has Ojaba played in 3 seasons?
Isaac wasn't an injury thing though.
But what I'm saying is like who are already on the roster who are going to give you potentially the same thing as Ojulari. They're
$4 million. That's fucking kicker money.
Yeah, but again, like you already have these lotto ticket guys. So why the fuck do you want to go buy another lottery ticket? This is like poor person welfare that you have here. It's the next lottery ticket.
It's not. If you think about value and budget, what the contribution could be to the defense in a position of need, it's not welfare thinking. It's critical thinking.
It's a quarterback dream. So if Lamar gets hurt and we have Cooper Rush for $6 million a year at most, like that could benefit our team more than Ojulari could. I mean, if you want to use that. It could, yeah. I mean, if you want to use that logic of this guy could work out, I mean, Tez Walker could be the fucking greatest wide receiver ever to walk the face of the earth, and we have him on a
on pace
rookie contract. So
he's on pace.
If we're gonna play this what if and hypothetical game, sure, cool, we can play that, but it's Ojulari doesn't fucking move the needle.
4 months ago, hold on. 4 or 5 months ago, weren't you in on trading for him?
Yeah, I was in on trading.
Didn't we have those conversations in this draft? Where you were interested in trading for him? So what changed in 4 months? He would have been cheaper now.
I wanted him as a fucking rental when we were going to give up like a 6th round pick to get him.
So you agree that you could understand that he could have contributed to the team down the stretch?
Yeah, in a
maybe not.
In a short span of games, you're signing a lottery ticket. What pushes you over the edge? You're not giving $4 million to a guy who doesn't. And expect him to come in and be your fucking premier.
You don't know what he could. You don't know what he can play. Saquon's been hurt most of his career, and he came out and had a Hall of Fame type season.
That's untrue.
You don't know.
Zamboni with the hot take here.
Are you comparing? Hold on. Did you compare Saquon Barkley to Azeez Ojulari?
I'm talking injuries. Don't matter.
Okay, but when Saquon was healthy, he was putting up elite Hall.
Wait a minute. What are we doing? Let's just go through Saquon Barkley's career. 16 games played, 13 games played, 2 games played, 13, 16, 14, 16. He's had 1 season where he was hurt.
I feel like he's missed more time than that.
Yeah, well, you felt wrong. So don't fucking do that again.
He's played 90 games in 7 years. So he's very reliable except for the 1 year when he tore his ACL, right?
I think Grant just likes Azeez Ojulari because that was one of his guys coming out.
No, that has nothing to do with it. I think
that has everything to do with it. Everything to do with it. This happens all the time.
I'm not a stubborn pain in the ass like
all the time. You still to this day think that fucking Tony's going to be good.
Now you're just making shit up. When is the last time you've even heard me talk about him?
Anytime his name comes up, he's like, I don't care about if they're smart. They're just good at football. He just needs an opportunity. He just needs the ball in his hands.
When is the last time I said that? When is the last time I said that?
Every time he gets brought up.
Yesterday or the day before. I don't know. It's an every 48-hour thing. I mean, you still think George Pickens is this like elite, fucking talent that everybody wants. They can't get rid of him.
I said he's a talented receiver.
Graham was doing the Macarena when Greg Rousseau got paid $20 million a year, and we all made fun of that
because he was better than Oweh, and I said that, and I said he was going to be that. But
being better than Oweh doesn't, because Oweh's not the guy.
You're running semantic circles right now just to try to fit your fucking narrative. You can't compare and uncompare shit.
What do you mean I can't compare and uncompare? I don't want Greg Russo or Odafe. I don't want either guy. I want somebody who fucking gets to the quarterback and finishes the play. And that's not Azeez Ojulari. That's Russo. That's not Odafe Owe. That's not fucking, any homeless person we're going to sign off the fucking street.
Hold on. If you had to guess, how many more sacks does Russo have than Owe?
2.5.
2.
Great player.
Owe has more forced fumbles and more fumble recoveries.
And if we go back to the podcast where Grant talked about why he liked Russo, it was a creepy, like he's 19 kind of thing. I'm just throwing that one out there. So
What?
I don't know if we want to have a conversation about that. But
that does kind of sound like something you'd say, because like in the past couple of days, you keep saying he's 24. You keep focusing.
Yeah, it means you got time
He's young and can continue to develop.
but this does track with what Drew's saying.
Yeah, and that was like your entire rationale for wanting Russo over Owe was that, Russo's 19. I was like, yeah, cool, he still sucks. And
I never even mentioned I wanted Owe the entire time.
If you're going to make me go fucking, or no,
Do
but
it.
like that's
Dig.
why you wanted Russo. He was 19. I'm pretty sure that was like your main.
It was I liked Russo and I liked Russo and I liked Jermaine Johnson.
Oh yeah,
that
the
year.
38-year-old blood. I forgot about him. Fucking gang affiliated like guy who was graduated high school at 27 years old and then went to Florida State. Yeah, great choice there, Grant.
Damn it.
I guess this is what happens when you don't have opinions on players. You can call other people's opinions on players.
Oh shit!
I have phenomenal opinions on players. They never.
No, you don't. You piggyback shit and coattail ride, and then you switch around back and forth, and then you claim the ones that you say, "Oh yeah, I was on that guy."
Yeah, it is very funny that Grant just said with his chest that Russo is so much better than Owe, and they're basically fucking dead even. They're basically dead even.
Put on the tape.
David Ajabo, Hall of Fame, to go on a per snap production. That was my big push there.
Per snap, even though he was a healthy scratch for most of the year because he wasn't good enough to get on the field.
Yeah, because they were holding him back. They're saving him for this year. The Ravens contract year breakout guy.
He might be. Last year was deal. I don't disagree with that.
Gonna ball out. Zay Flowers.
And then go get paid by somebody else.
I was a big Lamar guy. My things aged pretty well, great asshole. We can go down the list of great age takes that have. Ahmad Gardner's get fucking ruined this. He's gonna have to play with Brandon.
That's two-time All-Pro, Ahmad Gardner.
He's got fucking
two-time All-Pro.
That's two-time All-Pro.
Chuck Clark behind him. Fucking Brandon Stevens next to him. He's fucked. You should just get off that bandwagon while you can.
You kidding? That man will be nominated.
Chuck Clark still on.
They're going to target everybody else. They're like, oh man, that's a little tougher to complete the pass. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and not throw over there.
I'm sure they're going to sign Eddie because that just seems like a Jets move.
I swear they're going to say they'll sign Marcus Williams. Watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I cannot wait to see Marcus Williams behind Ahmad Gardner. That'll be fucking phenomenal. I would love every second of that. Here we go with Naldo is this a Ted Walker comment? I see.
Yeah.
Without
fucking right, Tez Walker.
Get the fuck out of here, Llama. What did he say?
He said, "This one's for Drew. Mark Andrews max contract extension. I'll hang up and listen."
Yeah, fucking Virginia McCaskey dies. All of a sudden, your Bears look half decent. You don't know how to act, asshole.
Well, yeah, it's the curse of the McCaskies.
I've been telling him for years he's got fucking battered woman syndrome because he's being held hostage by a 90-year-old white lady in Chicago. And he's like, oh, no, Bears great. Mitch Trubisky's the greatest thing in the world. Matt Eberflus is going to save us. John Fox is a great coach. Hey. I'm like, no. I was like, no, you
hey, man, there ain't nothing wrong with kissing titties now. Come on now.
Yeah,
let's give Mitch Trubisky his due. That man will talk about loving kissing titties.
Well, yeah, and I don't think Caleb will like kissing titties is my guess, just by how he acts. But
not unless the man titties.
He was being held hostage by a fucking 90-year-old white lady in Chicago. He's like, no, Bears are gonna be great. What happened? So now he's all excited because she died. Ryan Poles is Grant, how'd that one? Your Ryan Poles is a good GM take. How'd that one work out?
I mean, he's building a pretty good offensive lineup there right now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I don't like Caleb Williams.
Yeah, exactly. It has Caleb Williams. He's fucked. They have no running back.
Should have got Jaden Daniels.
Should they probably got to draft Ashton Genty.
Samuel Jr.
I don't know if they should take a running back that early. Another conversation for another day.
Yeah, I understand, but they might do it.
Noted NFL sure agrees with me that Amari and Hampton is not that good. So I just want that on the record.
I was the dumbest top 10 running backs I've ever seen in my life.
Hey,
ever.
Grant, how many rushing yards do you have?
Dude, he's from Oakland too.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that I don't know how to evaluate a running back. That motherfucker has bad take
Pretty
after
sure.
bad
From
take.
Oakland or he's
I
from
would say
Antioch?
Somewhere
Somewhere in the
Drew
East Bay.
knows more about being an NFL running back than you do, so maybe he knows something you don't.
I mean, not all players are great evaluators.
I would trust his
Steve,
opinion.
Steve Smith was defending James Prochet.
Have you not heard Maurice Jones-Drew's takes on players?
No.
How bad he
Honestly,
is?
Honestly, I forgot Maurice Drew was a person until I saw that list today. So,
Exactly. My fucking point. Exactly. He had Woody at number 10. I think he just did that for shits and giggles.
Not to mention he's a midget. He's like 5'6".
yeah, but he won me
That's
a
why
fantasy
he's
league.
angry.
Back in the day.
2007, he
Yep.
won me a fantasy league.
Yeah, he won
Yep.
me. I was like a senior in high school. He won me my fantasy league for me. So big
you
Maurice
go.
Jones-Drew guy.
Yep.
What else do we have that's happened in Ravens world that we need to address?
I mean, Mark Andrews got his option. Or
That's
not
right.
option, his roster bonus. So
So-
looks like he's going to be
Pick it
here.
up.
I
So,
think this is
see.
the unpopular take. I think that makes him more tradable.
I agree. It does make him more tradable, but I feel like the Ravens, the way that they handle money, it's less likely if they're going to be the way they always have been, that they would have committed that much cash against the cap anyway. And,
Grant just told me $4
they get
million
rid of him,
is not allowed. I'm not sure. I think
Not
that,
now.
I think that $7 million fee, if somebody who had their heart set on Colston Loveland or Ty Warren misses on them in the draft, I feel like they may be more willing to give you a third-round pick for Mark Andrews. And I think that that's the magic number the Ravens are looking for, is a third-round pick to get rid of him. So I feel like that almost helps their cause.
So you think like a Hollywood type draft day move?
Yeah, like the Chargers miss out on Colston Loveland, and all of a sudden now they give the Ravens a call, and they want Andrews. Like I could definitely see that happening. Did I lose you guys?
No. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. If someone thinks that they can upgrade with Warren or Loveland, those are the only two I think are going to go pretty early, right? Tight end wise.
Yeah, I mean they're both. I don't want to say like Brock Bowers franchise altering guys, but they're definitely both very good at football. And so yeah, there's I don't want to say a huge drop off after them, but there's enough of a drop off that I feel like somebody would be willing to give up a third for Mark Andrews rather than take a shot on like Luke Lachey or something like that.
What's the Notre Dame kid? He's projecting like early day 3 also.
I want to say Morrison, but I think that's a quarterback, right?
It's
That's
an M. It's an M. I can't remember.
I'm drawing a blank.
I'm gonna check.
Also, I would that's a interesting situation, especially with them wanting to get rid of Trayvon Walker.
Mitchell Evans.
Yeah, I'm out on touch from Notre Dame, so because of what the fuck's his name, the one that the Raiders took early a couple years ago and then sucked
Michael
ass.
Meyer.
Oh, Michael Mayer.
Yeah,
Mayer,
so-
yeah.
He's still there.
yeah.
He is.
and they had to draft Brock Bowers because so bad. So
I think it's maybe more that Brock Bowers is just like
That
insane.
good. Yeah.
worse hairline than me. 10 years
Oh,
younger
God.
than me.
My
Yeah.
God, it's
Andre
it's
Renfro
horrible.
too. Even
Clear-
though he's not
clear.
in the league right now.
Clear steroid use, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Yep.
He looks like
Yeah.
Kane when he got unmasked for the first time.
Oh fuck, taking me back to nostalgic days. Ruthless aggression.
You just got Tom all excited.
He
Tom
did.
doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And,
That's because Tom fucking curses the podcast by saying stupid shit
and he's also just not allowed.
and,
Drew,
and,
fix your
doing, and
AirPods.
doing high knees.
What was that?
Fix your AirPods.
Fix my AirPods?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're fucked up again.
Fix your headphones, all of you.
there's no need because your AirPods are being fucking stupid. Oh,
Luke Buffalo again.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his.
JT at Iowa.
He's a big dude. He's good. He's a good hands catcher. He blocks really well. I like him.
Testing. I'm just going to keep
Better.
saying testing until somebody acknowledges me.
It was
Testing.
better. Nope.
nope.
Never mind.
You sound like you
remember the
just got
Chargers
rescued from space.
Oh,
How about
But yeah,
now?
the Bengals
How about
thing.
How about
I
Better.
see Brandon asking about the Bengals thing.
yeah.
We kind of talked about that a little bit off air, but man,
Look,
it's a lot of yeah.
What is
That's
Brock
Brock
Bowers?
that's
That
Brock
is Brock
Bowers.
It
Bowers.
does.
That is Bowers.
I just find it hard to believe paying that much money for two players on the offensive side of the ball, much less you throw in Burrow's contract. I mean, like Will mentioned earlier, man, keep one, use the other one as a trade piece, accumulate capital, build your roster. But having almost 50% of your cap allocated to 3 offensive players is wild.
And then they're going to have no money, which already sucks. They're going to have no ability to pay anybody to block for Burrow. Like, they're totally fucked. I love it.
Yeah,
They're fucked.
there's a lot of really stupid fucking Ravens reactions going on about this. That people, and it's the same people who are always shitting on EDC and the way the roster is constructed and all that. But they're claiming that it's the same thing, that Cincinnati has committed 49.2% of the current salary cap, $279.2 million. So 49.2% of that number is allocated to the AAV for contracts for Chase, Higgins, and Burrow. They're saying the Ravens, they're just as bad. They have 40.8% allocated to Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Roquan Smith, Odafe Owe, and Matabike. Okay, idiots. The fucking point is you have taken half of your salary cap and you've given it to 3 players on the offense, none on the defense. By the way, these fucking guys have been there for 4 years. Why are you acting like suddenly they've made their team better? They've made their team worse in a couple different ways. They've made it so it's harder to acquire defensive players that
They're
they
going
need.
to lose Trey Hendrickson.
Their defense sucks. Trey Henderson is already
they're trying.
trade.
They're trying to trade. They're trying to sign him.
Right.
They're going to lose.
So that's 4. That's 4 players. Say they sign him, he's going to get how much do you think? He's not going to get Garrett money because the Browns are fucking idiots.
But still,
he's probably going to get 30
He's going to get
plus.
Max Crosby money.
Probably.
Yeah, so that's going to be like 60% almost.
But it's okay. Listen, they're giving the current half of the current cap basically to those 3 players in AAV. Now I understand there are mechanisms in contracts that cap gets spread out over different years. Okay, I get that. It still makes it a lot harder when you have 3 guys making that much money. That's 3 guys making what just a couple of years ago would have been, like the lowest number there was what quarterbacks made not that long ago. The second number, $40.1 million, $40.25 million a year. That's like a lot of. There's not even that many quarterbacks making that much money. So we're talking about a quarterback getting $55 million a year, a wide receiver getting $40+ million a year, and then another wide receiver, I think he can max out at $33 million a year. That's a shit ton of money to 3 guys who have already been there on one side of the ball. And they're comparing it to 5 guys from the Ravens, 3 on defense, 2 on offense, one of them being a franchise quarterback. That's a fucking idiotic comparison to make. It makes no sense. And it's like a 10% difference. It's not the same in any way. Not mathematically and not the way it's allocated. When you allocate to the best players, and there's going to be a couple on both sides of the ball, but when you have them all involved there and you're still under 50% of your cap, you're doing the right thing.
And you're also, this is no disrespect to T. Higgins, but to the Bengals, he is not worth $33 million a year. Because I think you could put a much cheaper option across from Jamar Chase, and they'd be just as productive.
They have another good another good wide receiver, the Greek guy, Yoshivash, or whatever the fuck, however you pronounce his name.
Yeah,
that guy.
You said it right, Yoshivash.
That guy, I think. I mean, like he's a big frame. He could probably play the X. If you want to put him out there like they do with T. Higgins, I bet he could play. He could fill in, and like you said. In that offense, when you have Chase on the other side, the guy on opposite of Chase is going to benefit from the fact that Chase is on the field.
And again, if you're looking at these are the roster construction people, the same ones who are jerking off the Bengals right now. Like you would be so much better of a team as the Bengals if you traded T. Higgins for, I don't know, an early second, a late first, whatever the fuck you can get back for him. And you rebuild the line with that. You invested in the defense, whatever the fuck you're going to do with that. Like they're so much better off. And for some reason, they decided to pay T. Higgins, which I don't get it.
They've also historically been pretty good at drafting wide receivers. So, like, T. Higgins is good. He's not elite.
No, he might be elite. I don't know. But, again, he's also kind of held down by Stu, if that makes sense.
He's good. He's good. But, like, if you let T. Higgins go, I wouldn't let Chase go. I think he's one of the best players in the league.
He's the guy you keep out of the 100%.
I think so too. But if you're doing the like you want to value these 2 guys, if you're looking to really like get a big haul back, if you traded Chase, you could probably get another 1st round pick out of it plus. So but let's just move forward here saying, okay, T. Higgins is gone. I think you can replace that. I think you can replace.
If you put T. Higgins on the Patriots or some team where he is the clear number one wide receiver, I think, and they'd be a shitty team, so you'd get a good draft pick back for the Bengals. Like, it's a better deal for T. Higgins. It's a better deal for whatever team gets T. Higgins, and it's a better deal for the Bengals. Like, that's a three-way trade there that is like mutually beneficial for everybody. And for some reason they're like, no, let's give him $33 million. I don't get it at all.
And okay, the defense sucks, and it's about to be even worse. And their offensive line is fucking horrific.
Yeah,
how are they going to fix that?
Their key part of their offensive line is a fucking furry. So you're already fucked there. I don't know. They're any team that wears orange in the AFC North is just battling for
Ohio
run franchise.
It's Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio's the football capital of the world. Football fame's there, and the two professional franchises there are just a fucking joke. So, and the Browns are building an indoor stadium, so fucking on top of that.
I wish we would put a fucking roof on our stadium.
Yeah, I mean that's just I don't understand. Football is shitty conditions. Those guys are supposed to be
meant by who?
miserable.
Meant by who?
By me as somebody who enjoys watching people who are getting paid $50 million a year to play football, watching them struggle, playing a fucking kids game for fun. You can play it while it's cold out. It's enjoyable watching them.
It's not really about the cold. It's about the adverse conditions, wind and precipitation. That's really what it's really all about.
when you're a kid, that didn't stop you from going outside to play football. It was raining.
When you're a kid, you're a fucking dumb kid playing outside. What the fuck does that have to do with the NFL?
They're playing nobody's
paying $200 to go see some fucking asshole kid play football out front of my house. Nobody does that.
I'm paying
lots of money. Spend $200 to go to the game.
I'm paying $200 to see.
You're paying money for your cable. You're paying to watch it, no matter what you're paying.
I'm paying $200 to see somebody do something that I can't do, and so I can't play.
Yeah, I want to see them do that under ideal conditions. I don't want to watch a bunch of guys slip and slide all over the place. Fuck that.
Love it. Football weather.
Stupid.
It's great. Playing inside is dome teams are losers. Look at like Drew Brees. Yep. I just think of
Peyton Manning and the Colts in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, just dome teams are always prissy retards that I can't fucking stand. So every team that I don't like in the dome, they're just they get this attitude about them. We play night dishes all the time. Then you go on the road because you don't know how to play outside. Can't deal with the elements like the rest of us. Plus, Jimmy Haslam probably is funding that with he trafficked children over the border too. So on top of that, I got a problem with that guy funding a stadium project.
This will probably be the last episode of Zone 32.
What's Jimmy Haslam going to Jimmy, come find me. You're probably on the Epstein list. Probably had something to do with JFK getting shot too. I haven't read those 800 pages yet. So Jake lets that kind of stuff slide. But if God forbid, vaccine was maybe a bad idea, he'd spaz out.
Vaccine is maybe a bad idea?
Yeah, maybe I'd
support that. I'd support that notion. What the fuck are we talking about?
Jake,
it's the other side of idea to support.
Yeah, let's not go down this road.
Please, let us not go down.
Wait, so
don't threaten me with a good time now, Drew. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Anytime I say vaccine on the podcast, he just gets a look on his face. I thought he was a pro-vax guy. I didn't realize he was an anti-vax guy.
I don't fuck with the COVID one, especially if you already catch the virus. That doesn't make sense. Get you some Zarbee's and some NyQuil, you'll be all right.
Good to know.
That's right. The truth has been revealed. Anyway, let's get off of this shit.
We're definitely
Grant, BDSM list, safeties. What you got?
Oh man, we're going safeties today. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet though. 10. I got RJ Mickens from Clemson. He's got a lot of versatility, fits the run well. 9. Malachi Moore from Alabama. He's got that leader mentality.
Mad at that. People are going to be mad at that one.
They sure are, because a lot of people have him top 5, top 6.
Yeah.
Malachi Moore, I think he's a leader. He's very versatile. You can tell he's a film student, but he's got pretty good ball skills and a good tackler. Lathan Ransom from Ohio State. He's an aggressive playmaker. He diagnoses screens really well. He will punish you, especially on the outside. He attacks at good angles. 7. Sebastian Castro. High IQ guy, great. He's got great anticipation and pre-snap reads. 6, Billy Bowman Jr. from Oklahoma. He takes elite angles. He's a threat with the ball after he creates a turnover. He's aggressive in passing lanes, and he gets downhill quick. He takes really good angles. He'll cut off a block and smack somebody off of a screen, off of an outside zone run. Plays that really well. The top five, Kevin Winston Jr. from Penn State. He would probably be higher if he didn't have some recent injury concerns. I think he partially tore his ACL in the fall, didn't fully tear it. They just took the rest of the year off and rehabbed. But I put down for him controlled chaos. He's an excellent tackler. He's aggressive on the back end. He's got really good run defense. He's a guy that can play single high or two high. This one's going to probably piss people off, but I don't give a shit. Number 4, Malachi Starks, Georgia.
Oh, they might. So, do you hate people named Malachi?
No, I like.
No, he liked Malachi Corley last year.
Oh, true. Good point, Jake.
Malachi's like a scary name. I like that. It's a good.
I do too. Name. I like the name, but I think so. The top 4 for me, I think, are all going to be like starter contributors in the NFL. Like you're going to know who they are. But Malachi Starks is 4 of the 4. But I think he's a complete ability at safety. He's sticky in coverage. If you watch him cover in the slot or he covers tight ends or anything across the field on mesh routes or crossing routes, he's on them, and he has a lot of passes defended. He's really good with that. And he's good in run defense as well. He's an aggressive hitter. He's pretty decent size. I mean, he's 6'1", pushing 200. He didn't run a crazy time, but his game speed's faster than his underwear Olympic speed. 3, I have Andrew Makoba from Texas. I like him a lot. He's 5'11", 185, but he plays like he's about 6'2", 220. My note for him was buckle up across the middle because he will smack you. Plays fast, plays aggressive, plays physical. He's got really good ball skills, really smart and savvy in the back end, and he's another versatile safety. 2, Xavier Watts. He's probably one of my favorite players in the draft. 6 foot 200, pretty good speed. But I put for him, he's just got elite IQ and he's a ball magnet. He knows how to anticipate routes, short routes, mid routes. He knows how to jump into passing lanes. He contributes on turnovers. He'll strip. He'll chase people down and hawk them and club from behind, cause a fumble. But he has really good run support as well, and he loves contact. My number 1 is Nick Emanwari. He's probably him and Xavier Watts are like 1A, 1B for me. Nick Emanwari, I mean, as far as like my favorite players, but Nick Emanwari, I think, is just different. He's an absolute playmaker. He's got positional versatility, great tackler, ball skills, IQ. I think Emanwari's stock is going to get higher and higher and higher because of the way that he's so versatile. And Kyle Hamilton's the type of player that's going to cause Emanwari's stock to go up because of the way that they can use him as a dime linebacker, slot corner, nickel corner, too high, single high. Doesn't matter where you put him. He's going to be on the field. And he's going to make plays, kind of like how Hamilton's just like a free roamer, and a lot of defenses are going to like defensive coordinators are going to love him. He's 6'3", 220, runs in the 4.3s. He's got speed. He creates turnovers. He does everything that you want a safety to do or even a football player to do. So his versatility is huge. I think about either Hamilton and him together would just be absolutely fucking insane. Hamilton and Watts too. They both would complement each other really well. But yeah, go ahead, Drew.
My question for you is actually Brandon Ace kind of took my thunder here because I would say that Xavier Watts is the guy that I'd be looking at the Ravens to draft. I'm not interested in the first round, which I think takes Starks and Iwamori off the board. So I don't know. Like, do you feel like a lot of these are? I don't want to say overrated because I think Starks and Iwamori are going to go early. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it really depends on how some of these teams in the 20s want to pick because I realistically could see 3 and at a crazy aspect 4 safeties go in the first round just because of the playmaking ability from the top 4. I mean, Starks and Emanwari definitely. Watts could creep in, and apparently a lot of teams like Makuba.
Yeah, see, so I haven't seen a lot of draft buzz, which is why I think he's a guy at 59. I would like to see the Ravens take.
I'd be shocked if he's there, but I'd run to the fucking table if he's there.
Yeah, so early on, I wouldn't think he was there at 59, but I haven't seen his name much, to be honest.
I would take that for.
I want Watts.
I can't imagine why would that be?
Well, it's just the guy that I've seen the most, but he leads the NCAA in interceptions over the past 2 seasons. I believe.
So
He's crazy smart too.
This guy once
He-
told me that it was childish that a player from your favorite college graduates to your favorite pro team, and that like you're a loser if you want players from your favorite college team to be drafted. by
You
your
were
favorite
doing
pro
mock drafts with like 6 Michigan players in it.
team. No, it's way more than so. I was doing a Michigan guy every pick, but that's not the point.
Well, no. You were doing some though, where it was an earnest attempt at a mock draft, and you still had like 4 Michigan guys.
Hold on. Do you think that any mock draft attempt that I've done, I do like wild fucking trades, or I just take guys that I like that went to Michigan? There's never anything serious. I'm not Grant. I don't, portray myself as this draft guy. I just, like Michigan. It's pretty much.
I just think Watson and Hamilton would be fucking awesome, and he's the ball hawk that the defense is lacking. So
which would be, I mean, a lot of Ravens fans would have a fucking conniption fit if we didn't take an O-line or a D-line in the first 2 rounds. But if we could get Izaraku from Boston College in the first round and Watson the second round, that would feed fucking families, and I'd be.
Yep. That addresses the 2 big needs.
And especially with the Darius Washington stuff going on, I feel like a safety early is more in the cards than it would have been before, the new league year and the tender. I don't think that we'll be back after next year, Darius Washington, just because of, that they're giving him the original tender. That means that there's clearly some kind of issue going on here with what he thinks he's worth versus what the Ravens are willing to pay him. And that
they did the right of first refusal.
Yeah, right of first refusal, which is I thought that was original round tender for a UDFA, but maybe I'm wrong. Regardless, he could walk.
Yeah.
But on that comment though, yeah, Watts' film is fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean he's the guy that I feel like where I'm thinking he's going to get picked makes the most sense for us, and he's a solid player. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you're looking
Notre Dame safeties, like Notre Dame has a couple of position groups where you're getting a good player, and safety is definitely one of them. There's a lot of really good Notre Dame safeties.
I would say safety is really the only one.
I mean, their offensive linemen are always really good.
Yeah, they always got good offensive linemen.
They're too smart. I want idiot offensive line. Their academics,
Zach Martin,
really fuck them on a lot of guys.
They have a lot of good offensive linemen in the league.
Yeah, but then they have a lot of guys who are again too smart to be long-term offensive linemen.
That's why we need Tate Ratledge, Drew.
Yeah, that's my guy. The fucking mullet, the selling point for me there. I saw that at the combine, and he got somersault in the end zone. I was like, "Yep, this is the caliber of moron that I need playing guard." So, yeah,
Brandon Ace brings up. I saw this while we were on, but
please do that. Please,
the Steelers want.
Please,
I am begging the Steelers to do that.
I don't want them to get Dart, but I would love for them to get Milrow.
What is the allure of?
I have no idea. I think he's going to be horrific.
Right now. That is the best pro comp that you can make for him. Is that he's a guy that is a little bigger, runs kind of the same way, is quick, and has a very good arm, but you have no fucking idea where the ball's going. And so if you draft Jalen,
he's Malik Willis. He's the same fucking player as Malik Willis.
If you draft him, I don't know, the 5th or 6th round, you got an established starter already. He got 2 years left on a deal. And you let him sit for 2 years, maybe he figures out how to be more accurate, or they can kind of build a scheme around him, and he'll be like moderately successful, like a middle of the pack quarterback, like at best. And that's in like a perfect situation with a coach who knows exactly how to use him. If the Steelers take him and expect him to start, DK Metcalf's going to be requesting a trade by like week 3. He's going to be like, I went from fucking Geno
George
Smith
Pickens
to
is going to murder him.
George Pickens is going to the Ravens. Posted a picture of him and like Tom Brady like that. So I feel like
I think that they're probably almost viewing him as like a Jalen Hurts. Like they're not expecting him a lot as far as throwing the ball, or at least I hope not. Or they haven't watched a single game.
Jalen Hurts is a way better passer than him.
But I'm talking about, I mean, he's still not a great passer, but I'm talking about the way they utilize him with the outside run game. They're built on trying to run the football, and they think that he's the type of quarterback that can come in and be a big physical quarterback, gain short yardage, the type of kind of offense that essentially.
Who are they built to run the ball?
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Run the ball with them. They don't have Najee.
Huh?
They don't even have a fucking running back.
They don't have an offensive line. They don't have a running back.
They'll be fine.
They
always run the ball well. I like Jalen Warren. I mean,
I like him too, but he's not a 3-down back like Harris was.
Yeah, Jalen Warren is your
going to. I honestly think that they're probably going running back in the first round. And my nightmare scenario is them getting a Marion Hampton.
That would be great. He sucks.
Pure nuts.
Number 7 on the MJD list.
I'd be thrilled if they got to marry him. I would love every second of that. He's terrible. Yeah,
I can't wait to rub that one in your face too.
I'm not saying a word on that one. You're not going to hear me. Well, North Carolina running backs, they're not. I mean, look, I think they could be better.
Williams. Okay.
Who's pretty good? I think he's pretty good.
Who
Michael
else?
Carter was in New York.
Oh yeah, he was so good that they drafted Brees Hall high the next year. Fucking great player. What's Michael Carter done? Who else? What
Giovanni Bernard had a pretty decent career.
Giovanni Bernard is even Chase saying his name than anything he actually did on the football field. Next. Who else?
AJ Blue.
Oh yeah, it's so fucking.
I don't know who that is.
He was a backup running back for the Texans for like 13 years and did had like one good year.
Willie Parker.
Trash. Was only good because Jerome Bettis. Only good with Jerome Bettis as like a change of pace guy. Who else? This is like saying that in North Carolina edge rushers are great because they had LT and Julius Peppers. Like, oh yeah, because who else besides those?
I was just
That's the same argument you used with the quarterback thing in Michigan.
No, you told me in the last 20 plus years that North Carolina puts better NFL quarterbacks than Michigan.
I meant within 20 years. I meant within the last 20 years.
But you said 20 plus.
I did say 20 plus.
Which put Tom Brady in the window, and it was the dumbest thing you've ever said. It was the worst mistake you've ever made in an argument.
I did say 20 plus, but I meant in the last 20 years.
You simply gave me an opening to be like, oh yeah, other than like the greatest quarterback in history, yeah, Michigan's produced nobody. So that was a wild move. But yeah, I don't know, North Carolina running back thing. It does not scare me at all. If they take Jalen Milroe, he's even less because you just stack the box against them. They won't be able to do shit.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Milroe is where they're gonna go.
I mean, they took
fucking hilarious.
I would not dumb enough to do
Kenny
that,
Pickett. They
took Kenny Pickett in the
I know.
round,
That's
so.
what exactly. That's the first thing that popped in my head. But
he sucked.
it would be. How stupid would it be to draft Jalen Milroe when you just had Justin Fields? Just re-sign Justin Fields if that's the offense you want to run. Justin Fields, we know he can run that offense.
That is very disrespectful. I'm not a Justin Fields guy, but that is incredibly disrespectful to Justin Fields.
Well, no, what I'm saying why would you draft a guy who's clearly worse than Justin Fields to do exactly the same fucking thing?
Wasn't it a pretty high probability right now that Aaron Rodgers might go there? Isn't that like
who the fuck knows what Aaron Rodgers is going to do? Aaron Rodgers.
Because I mean that changes.
I saw the odds. I saw the odds jump significantly that he's going to New York.
Yeah, but then
he wants to go to the Vikings. So.
Yeah, I heard he's like begging the Vikings to go play there. Like, I don't know, just go do fucking crack in a forest somewhere and go away. Aaron Rodgers, like I don't understand. He went from like
that man wants some peyote.
Well, if you were him, wouldn't you want to go to the Vikings?
No,
arguably the best wide receiver.
Yeah,
they have great offense, a great coach.
If I was him, I would have stayed in Green Bay. I wouldn't have fucking forced my way out of there to go to the fucking Jets. Like,
that was crazy.
Aaron Rodgers went from. I mean, like you could argue that statistically he was maybe the best quarterback of all time, like from an efficiency standpoint.
Yeah,
in terms of
100%.
yards, touchdowns, interceptions, just like looking at the pure numbers. And he went from that to just like complete fucking loser in a 2-year span because he
was doing that ayahuasca shit.
Yeah,
ever since he started doing that, he sucked.
Yeah, he didn't have that bad of a year last year. It's just the whole circus of it. You can't lose that many games. But like statistically, he was fine.
But they were
not Aaron Rodgers. He had 28 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That's still a pretty good ratio.
A lot of those numbers were, they were chasing 2 scores late, and he'd put up.
I get that. I'm just saying he can play. It's just it's not what we're accustomed to with him, and all the fucking weird shit around him makes it way worse.
You've got your head coach fired, and you brought in your butt buddy Devontae Adams, and it just it didn't work. I mean, the Jets are a fucking loser franchise, so like destined to fail. But he's got that like LeBron, streak to him where he's like, oh, I want this, and this around me. Remember everywhere he used to go, he'd bring like fucking Randall Cobb with him. He threw like a fucking hissy fit because they wouldn't re-sign Randall Cobb. It's like you're a pain in the ass at that. You're not good enough to be a pain in the ass at that level. So, stop. Yeah, begging the Vikings, be like, hey, sign me, and I want Sam Darnold's contract. Why would the Vikings give you Sam Darnold's contract if they just let Sam Darnold walk for that? Like, they knew Sam Darnold worked in you know what I mean? So, like, the reason why they let him go is they didn't have a quarterback. So why the fuck would you be, kicking down their door looking for, like, $40 million a year? They're clearly not going to give it to you.
Yeah, I don't get the money angle with him. Like, he's going to get paid well no matter what. But, like, you have one maybe 2 years left of football, and you either going to make $0 or whatever it is that they're offering you. So like, just fucking take like $35 million, you know?
He is destined to work for Info. I feel like that is his career.
But and Minnesota is, I mean, even not even considering that it has a starting quarterback opening, but like you look at all the teams in the league that they have the pieces in place where if they get the right guy to play quarterback, they swap someone out.
I mean,
but like that's a perfect situation.
Right,
it really is.
They just used a first-round pick on J.J. McCarthy, and I get it. Grant's going to make some, Drew's a homer comment, but like they're not going to use a first-round pick on a guy and then go sign Aaron Rodgers for 3 years and burn his whole rookie.
No. It's a 1-year deal. No, yeah, it's a 1-year deal. 100%.
Yeah, but he's looking for a 3-year cut, is what he said.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. Yeah.
You go fucking dick around with Pat McAfee on television and host Jeopardy and, like I said, do crack out in a shed in the woods. Like, it's just enough is enough. Or like, he's not good enough to be making these kind of demands. And
what Minnesota's going to end up doing? They're going to sign Kirk Cousins.
I think they're just going to roll with J.J.
Bring him back.
I don't know why they like.
Unless he's not ready.
I mean, it's no different than last year. I mean, obviously, like mentally, he's a little further along, but he still hasn't really seen any action. He hasn't seen any action on an NFL field. He tore his meniscus or whatever, and it wasn't even in a game, was it?
It was hurt his time in college, and they just chose to clean it up. He hurt it.
Right, so he's never played a live snap, even in preseason against an NFL defense.
He did. He got hurt in a preseason. They played.
It was like the first game, wasn't it?
Right, but I'm saying that like you had Sam Darnold in who put up an MVP caliber season after like America remembered him for the graphic of being
but he had 6 years of NFL experience. It's a lot different than a guy who's never stepped foot on an NFL field before.
He couldn't fucking start over whatever trash bags they had in Carolina. So like,
I think a bridge quarterback is really for them.
I just don't think
that's what they want and what they need.
But they're not going to invest any money in the position, I guess is my point. They could have signed Cooper. That would be a guy they could fill in there for, a year and be fine. Like a John Kitna, some journeyman who's been around everywhere. Right, Ryan Tannehill is probably still. That's another guy they could go look at.
He would make Aaron Jones really good.
They for Jordan Mason will show some respect for their new starting running back.
But they re-signed Aaron Jones too.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is like that weird bald guy where he dreads, but he doesn't have any hair on top of his head and always wears a hat. Throws me off.
Rashad Perryman.
Yeah, Aaron Jones's cousin played for UConn last year, and they showed him on the sidelines. He took a hat off, and I was like, "Holy fuck, this guy's bald. Why do you have dreads still?" I don't know, just straight. It's like the bald guys who have ponytails in the back. Just don't do that. Looks weird. People think you think you're weird if you do that kind of shit. I feel like we've gotten away from BDSM list because I don't think any of us really had any major gripes with it. I don't particularly care about seeing this year because I don't think it's something the Ravens are going to. Like, I think if, a Watts falls to them in the second round, they'll take him. But other than that, I think they're just going to pick up a guy later in the draft. They seem to do well with developing late cities.
There's guys I really like Billy Bowman Jr. from Oklahoma, Sebastian Castro from Iowa, Malachi Moore, Lathan Ransom. Those are guys that, be a little bit more mid-round that could be able to come in and contribute. Maybe not start right away, but be kind of like that Geno Stone role, where he would just situationally be in certain packages or whatever until he can build in. But I do like Billy Bowman a lot.
Yeah, you kind of see what they have, let them, work their way into a role and go from there. Because I don't view it as big of a need, like an immediate need. It's more of a next need for us. So if you draft a guy like that to develop, I feel like it fits better. But
I think if you get a guy like a Watts, I think having another top end, kind of safety or potential safety is going to be huge for this type of defense. But, I'm with you. And a lot of these guys are going to be, the safety's a position too, where the versatility kind of matters within the different types of coverages that you want to run and back end looks. But also safety is a position that predominantly contributes a lot on special teams. So you want to get a guy that's not going to be, a mainstay on your defense. It's going to be able to contribute to the special team side of the ball, which a lot of these guys would be able to do at the NFL level and contribute well, which, as we know, then that's how you earn snaps, essentially.
Yeah, that and you practice how you get in Harbaugh's good graces. So
linebackers, safeties, running backs, and receivers, put them out on special teams and let them just go.
Oh, I forgot to mention DeAndre Hopkins saying that he loved John Harbaugh, and that was the reason why he came here. Phenomenal moment in Ravens Twitter.
No,
People
he was
were
under the influence.
People were very upset by that being one of them.
I mean, so here's my thing though. Like I've said from the beginning, he's a players guy. Like he's a locker room. He's a rah-rah guy. Like people like to play for him.
You know.
I just
John
think he's
Harbaugh
terrible. I just think he sucks in game.
You know what John Harbaugh is? You give somebody, I don't know, a truck with 150,000 miles on it. For a lot of people, to crap out by 200,000 miles, and John Harbaugh can extend the life of that truck to 225,000 miles. If you give him a finished product already that knows how to be a professional, knows how to show up to work, knows how to, listen and communicate, he's going to get the most out of him. He's not great at cultivating a young guy or getting something out of somebody that nobody else can. And so if you're Edie and you know that, that's why you go get a DeAndre Hopkins instead of drafting a guy in the 4th round next to turn into something good. You know what I mean? I feel like that is what Harbaugh is making a already finished product and just extending its livelihood rather than developing. Which
I
is
love the
okay.
DeAndre Hopkins move.
It was a great move. Especially now, you look at the money that Cup got, looks even better. It's not even been a week, and it's aged phenomenally. So, is there anything else we missed?
I don't think so. Jake, I think it's your turn.
I think we covered it. So, with all that being said, that's going to do it for this week's installment. We'll be back with more BDSM shit and some more horny conversations to discuss this, that, and the other. But meanwhile, it's time for me to die.
Hit us with the
See ya!
fucking pause.
Zone 32.